This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Two more people from Limmer. This time we have Becky and we have Tyler. Two very different people with very different guests, gifts, not guests. See, Becky, I made mistakes. Anyway, both of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And
Thanks.
Tyler, we'll start with you.
Sure.
Okay. And then Becky can get a bit more of a feel, get a little more comfortable with it. Okay. So, Tyler, you do many things. And I
do.
You do. And I've written them down, and the piece of paper I wrote them on is upstairs, not down in the office. So you will have to remind me.
Sure. Yes. I for the past 20 years, I was an elementary school educator, and I've just left to pursue my own passion projects. Right now, my primary work is I bring meditation into schools to help overwhelmed teachers with busy classrooms find a little bit of peace and love in their classroom with their students. On top of that, I've just started at Glimmer. I have a background in tarot reading and orography.
That's what I wanted.
That's the one.
But
Yeah.
can I interrupt you for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
All of those tiles behind you, the black and white, they're fascinating to me. Is there a story behind them, or?
The story goes bored over COVID. That's how it went. COVID lockdowns, baby. Let me tell you. They're just little blocks of wood, found it on Pinterest, and I was like, I could do this.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, it's really interesting.
Thank you.
So anyway, it's called
Orography.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
So in 2012, I was in Kenya, Africa, and I was with a group of people that I've never felt so inspired by, and myself, and we were dancing all the time, and I just felt something shift within me. And suddenly, without trying, I started to see shapes floating around people, ethereal shapes. They were see-through. And I knew them to be energy, but I didn't even recognize them as being somebody's aura, because my understanding of auras was that auras were colored clouds that hovered around people. Mm-hmm. So being that I had a bit of history with tarot reading, when I delivered somebody a tarot reading, I would typically look at their aura, picturing their aura to be more fixed, and I would talk about the one shape that I saw around them. In 2017, I was called to gift 10 readings to people, and I didn't know why, but the compulsion was there. And so I posted on my Facebook, anybody want readings? Let's do this. And just before reading number 7, I had gone to go see a psychic medium who was clairaudient. She could hear spirit. So I asked myself the question, well, if I can see images and shapes and symbols and interpret them with claircognizance, I wonder if I can speak to spirit. And rather than hearing an answer, I wonder if I can see the answer. And so on my gifted reading number 7, I said, can I just try something? And I picked up my sketchbook. I drew the woman sitting across from me. And then I just started talking out loud to spirit, and the shapes would change. So now what I do, an aurograph is a picture of somebody's aura. Mm-hmm. And typically that is represented by colorful clouds radiating from somebody. I see them as shapes and symbols, which come with a claircognizant message that I can interpret to give the person some guidance.
That is really interesting because, okay, I mean, I do know some things about auras, but anytime, at the psychic fairs, you could get your aura picture taken. Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, I was a sucker for that. Mm-hmm. And it's like rays of light that it comes out in the aura photography. And where you're saying clouds, I never even thought about that one. But to me, it was always it's like the light that's emanating from the back of Becky, from
Mm-hmm.
behind Becky,
Mm-hmm.
but in different colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I have tried to see, or I can teach people, I can tell you how to see an aura, what to do, but I can't do it myself.
That's right.
It
Yeah,
just doesn't work.
and when I had researched the gift as it started to manifest, I couldn't find anybody else that sees in the way that I do. But
Yeah.
as you know well, spirit speaks to everybody very differently. And because I'm an artist myself, hence my
Yeah.
COVID wall.
Yes.
Because I'm an artist myself, it's not a wonder that spirit speaks to me through symbols.
Yeah.
So I see very, very strange symbols. So I've seen somebody covered in tar. I've seen shattered brown glass. I've seen a hamburger. I have seen a scorpion tail hanging off the back of somebody. I have seen more. I've seen a pharaoh. Right. So I don't know how the symbol is going to show up. It shows up, and I go, wow. Okay, I have something to say about that.
Yeah. No, that's really fascinating. And I understand with the symbols, I'm also an artist. And one of the things that I do is I work with either with a hot plate and melted wax. Okay. And then I scribble on the hot plate. And then I've got a special kind of paper I use and move it around, take it out, and you see different things. And honestly, it's amazing.
That's amazing.
The shapes and the things. And I can do someone's reading that way. Mm-hmm. So if I'm doing psychic fairs, and I don't do them anymore, but in the past, I would incorporate it into the reading. And it's like, well, yeah, I see this and I see that. And then they'll go home and they'll see different things. So, and it's all channeled, and it's all guided by spirit. So again, as an artist, and one of the things that I believe is that they show us in a way that we understand. Mm-hmm. And being an artist, you understand images better than if they just gave you words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. A picture tells 1,000 words.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like they could take half an hour giving you words, or they can take a minute of giving you a picture and you've got it all there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's great. Now, Becky.
Yes.
What brought you to, now you do face reflexology, right?
Yeah.
Yes. What got you interested in that?
Well, I'm an esthetician by trade. So I've been sort of in this line for about 17 years.
You don't look old enough.
Yeah, I took all of the courses, for spa services back in about 2008, I believe it was. And then I've ran a mobile business for about 12 years now, going to people's homes, doing foot care and pedicures. And then I stumbled across face reflexology, and it's something I've never heard about before. You always hear of the feet. So I kind of dove a bit into that. And then I went and took a course that was for a facial, but it was about teaching you how to use the different tools for it, which I never got taught back in 2008. So I learned how to use the tools, and then I found someone that taught the reflexology part of it as well. And when I dove into it, it's really amazing how we have so many points on our face that's connected to the rest of the body. And just by manipulating and stimulating those points, you can heal so much within you.
Wow, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're doing face reflexology, are you guided by spirit?
I wouldn't say so for myself. I do use my own intuition, whether that's being guided by spirits. It very
Absolutely.
well could be. But I also take a little bit of what they are dealing with as well. If they're dealing with medical issues, I learn that from them, and then I use that as well. But depending, I have several different tools that I can use, so I kind of use my own intuition on what to use on them as well.
That's good. So if someone comes to see you, what can they expect?
A little
And
bit.
are there things that they should tell you about first?
Yes. So of course, I always need to do some sort of consultation. I need to know a little bit of background on themselves, because there's different points that I cannot work on. Say if you're pregnant, or if you've had breast cancer or anything like that, there's certain points that I cannot work on. But when you come in, I like to do a little smudging. I like to work with crystals. I do believe that I hold power within myself and energy, and I like to use that in my sessions as well. But again, it's very intuitive. It's every session, every client is different. Every session will be different every time you come in. So yeah.
All right. Now, I love getting facials. I haven't had one done in years. I used to love going and getting facials done. If I were to come to you, okay, now do you sort of combine the reflexology with facials?
No, so this is
Well, you're going to.
Yeah, this is completely different than your typical facial. I'm not applying product. I'm not using masks and serums. This is, you come in and I just use oil. I only use oil on your face. And then I use the tools, and then I do a lovely massage on you. And I'm draining your lymphatic system as well.
That's good.
So there's a lot of draining, but it's not your typical facial. So that's why it's hard to kind of put a name on this, because I'm not just doing face reflexology, but I'm not doing a facial, but I'm doing more than face reflexology in this session.
If I can add this to your list.
Okay.
Okay. What I see you devising, coming up with, is, and because this is why they reminded me about facials, whenever they do, there's always a reason. All right. And no, you're not using product, but using oil. Okay. I'm all about natural stuff.
Yep.
And the last time I went for a facial and they used product, I have very sensitive skin, and they just burned it. I was bright red. And I haven't been back for one since. But what I'm being told is that they're showing me you, and you're doing the facial, you're using the oil, you're doing an actual facial, all right, but then you're also integrating. It's like you're combining the two, you're working the two together, okay? And again, with you, you're not finished your learning yet, all right?
No,
because there's some other courses, there's other courses coming in that you're going to be taking.
Yes.
And it's all to do, they're all basically to do with the head.
Yeah.
And maybe getting into neck and shoulders.
Yeah, I do the neck, shoulders. Yeah, I do it all.
All right, but getting into that area. But your main focus is the head.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't know what these different modalities are, but there's one that your guides are going to come through, because you're not going to have a physical teacher for this. You're going to have a teacher coming from spirit. And this is someone who has taught you in the past, like in a past life.
Okay.
And they're going to teach you, and as you're doing it, it's like, is this right? This doesn't make sense. I don't care. Do it anyway. Okay. Because it's a new, it's something new that you're going to be learning. Well, no, you're not learning it. You're being reminded how to do it, all right, from a past life. But best example I can give you. Oh, years and years and years ago, when I was living down in Mississauga, I was teaching a class how to do deep trance channeling.
Okay.
All right. And one of my students, I got her into lovely deep trance. One of my guides came through her, and they gave her a pain in the shoulder, and they told me what to do to remove that pain. And that's how I learned healing.
Wow.
Okay. So and at the time, what am I doing this for? So, and when I do my healings, it is very different from anybody else. But so don't second guess yourself. If you're being guided to do it and say, well, I don't know, it doesn't make sense, it's not logical. So what? Who cares?
Anyways.
No logic out the window. Okay, always better when you do anyway. and just go with it, because it's going to be yours. It's like you're putting your own stamp on this.
Yeah.
And this is something that if anybody wants this particular type of treatment, they have to come to you, because no one else will know how to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
My teacher, Lizanne, who I have spoke about on the show several times, she was in meditations and that she was shown how to do shoe readings. And she can do it. She taught myself how to do it, and she taught my best friend David how to do it. Well, they're both gone. They're both in spirit, and I'm the only living one now that knows her method. And the thing is, and at first it was like, are you kidding me? And even now when I say to people, oh, you have to read your shoe, like, well, what's that? But it works. That's the thing. So it's that same type of thing. Don't question it. Just do it.
Just do it. Okay.
Okay.
I will take
All right. Good. Okay. Now, Tyler. So you do the aura, and you do tarot.
That's right. So I find that for the idea of orography seems very abstract for people. And when I start drawing the shapes, that helps to ground the session a lot, because they can see what I see. And I draw it in the same size and shape that I see it around them. So they get a preview of what I see. The tarot cards are very approachable for the metaphysical. And so I do them at the end as a closing, but we don't focus on them. I find the process of laying out the cards helps to relax people, helps them to digest what's about to happen. It's more approachable. I remember seeing an intuitive who said, you don't need cards. Why do you use cards? I was like, of course I need cards. And I really don't anymore, which is amazing. But instead, I use them as an instrument to help ground and help close the reading.
And I find too, with a lot of people, they like the cards because it's a tangible. Where when you're just doing, when you're reading clairvoyantly, they can't see anything. And it's like, well, where are you getting this from? The
other thing is, for somebody who's new to it, when you're doing a channeled reading or something based specific solely off ephemeral intuition kind of thing, what happens is to a skeptic, they go, you're making it up, you're inventing it. But if you can hold up a tarot card and hold up the 10 of swords and go, and look at this, then they can see what you see, that they're going through a tough time in that moment.
Exactly. And two, I also find anyone who is starting out in this field and they want to really learn to bring out their clairvoyance, their intuition, whatever, I will tell them, start with the deck of tarot cards. Anyone can read tarot. It's memory work. As long as you can remember. But it is memory work. So anybody can read cards, but not everybody can read them properly. And there's a difference. That's right. There's a difference. And this is one of the things I tell my students is you don't just read card for card for card. It's a guide. It's like a map. And you read it together into a story. And if you think that the meaning is one thing and your guides are telling you, no, do something else, tell them this instead, then that's what you go with.
Yeah. And just like going to the gym, there's different exercises that help strengthen you better than others. And so for instance, tarot reading, even though you can do it, you might be stronger at runes, or if not runes, you might be stronger at crystal ball. If not crystal ball, you might be stronger at listening for it because you're clairaudient. So yeah, I agree with you. Everybody can do tarot, but everybody needs to, not needs to, everybody has an extra gift that if they learn what it is, they'll be like, oh, this is my thing. Now I get it.
Yes. And the tarot can be a good step,
Yes.
a good practice step
Correct.
into that, because it starts to open up the intuition, open up those channels. And then, like you say, they may go into a store, look at a crystal ball, and it's like, oh, look at this, look at that. And, it's, I have a friend who reads with crystal ball, and she keeps telling me that I can do it too. I can't.
Coming up at Glimmer, we're going to be doing a crystal ball reading workshop, because I actually find it the easiest way to introduce somebody, even before tarot, to clairvoyant readings. Crystal balls are the amount of friends that I have come over, enjoy a dinner and a drink with me, and then I'm like, I'm going to teach you something, and hand them a crystal ball. We have had the biggest belly laughs and the most amazing experiences for people who are like, I'm not psychic, I'm not intuitive, I'm not clairvoyant, and then there it comes. So stay tuned for an upcoming workshop at Glimmer.
I will. And I want to talk about this a little bit more when we come back, because in a couple of minutes, we're going to take a short break. But I want to tell you this story first. But people say, I'm not psychic. My husband, Russ, is always, I'm not psychic. I'm not psychic. And it's, yeah, right. For as long as you lived with me, are you kidding? Anyway, my youngest daughter, Melissa, when Russ and I first moved up to Port Elgin, Melissa came with us because she was still in school. And she was always one at Christmas. She loves Christmas. And it was, she'd shake the presents and try and guess what it is. And she gave Russ the present that she had bought for him. And she said, here, shake it. See if you can guess. Well, he picked it up. He said, Tasmanian devil, floor mats. And that's exactly what it was. She bought him floor mats for his truck with the Tasmanian devil on it. Well, the pair of, I just about fell over laughing. Melissa, the look on her face and the look on Russ's face, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And yet he will turn around and say, I don't have a psychic bone in my body. Oh yeah, you do. And like you say, most people do. But anyway, we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll talk about it more. And we'll talk about any classes that you have coming up. Okay. And I would like to touch a little bit more on the crystal ball thing too, about what size and things like that.
Sure.
Well, anyway, stay tuned because we'll be back.
Smudging is a very important part in our life as we're all learning to walk the good way. When we smudge, we use the sacred medicine, the white sage, the sweetgrass, the tobacco, and the cedar. It cleanses negative energy and replaces it by a positive energy. When I smudge, I cleanse my end and my eagle feather and start cleansing my breath to have better words. I will smudge my eyes so I could see the better things offered to me. I will smudge my ears to hear the good thing that people have to say. I will smudge my hair to have good thinking from my head. I will bring the smudge to my feet so I could walk in respect with our Mother, the Earth. Smudging is the way we give our prayers to connect our spirit to the Creator. We express gratitude for the gift of life, the learning, and growth.
I did it. I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, and welcome back. Now, something that I found out during the break is that Amy has had an aura reading.
Becky. That's okay.
That's okay. I'm allowed. I'm a senior. I'm an old lady now. Well, not really, but I am, but I don't think I am. Anyway, Becky, you have had an aura reading done by Tyler.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It was amazing. So I had it done, I believe it was around the end of winter of 22. So there was things that he would see that made a lot of sense, and then there was things he would say, just put that in your back pocket and it will come up. Well, one thing, so I left with my drawing, and I also record when I have sessions like this. I record things and then I come back to it. Well, there he drew a man, and he was down on one knee and he had his hands out with a heart. And he drew this, and he's like, "Do you know who this is?" And I said, "No, I don't know who this is." So this was, yeah, like February, March. And then in May, I met my person, because Tyler said that, this man is giving you all. His heart is here. He's giving you his all. I was like, I don't know who that is. And then I met my person in May, like just a few short months after that. I'm like, well, there he is. There is my man with everything out on the table, as Tyler said. So, yeah. And then another funny story from this reading was, he's like, there's like a male here. He's like flashing like a strobe light. And I was like, that's my ex-husband. And he said, no, it's annoying. It's an annoying light, like a strobe light. And my ex-husband is a DJ, and he has strobe lights in his house because he's a DJ, and he's annoying. So that's who it was mind blowing. And yeah, just the whole experience, like, just he's mind blowing. And the things that he knows, and then the things that he knows but you don't know yet, it's such a good experience. So I recommend everyone to see him. So yeah. So good.
Now, if someone wanted to, okay, well, first of all, Becky, I got it right. I've even written it down. So if someone wanted to book a session with you to get reflexology and that done, how do they get hold of you?
So that would be through our website, glimmerowensound.ca. So you can book online. All of the practitioners are on there. You can also call in or stop into the store as well to book.
All right. And are there certain days or hours that you are there, that you're available?
Yes. So I'm here Monday mornings. I'm here all day Tuesday, all day Thursday, and all day Saturday.
All right. And Tyler, again, with you, if anyone, now, what are the sessions that you offer that people can
For
book?
me, one of my passions is adult education. So one of the things I'll be doing a lot at Glimmer is offering different workshops, which we can touch on a little later. I'm there Mondays from 2 until 8. Mondays 2 until 8. I offer Indian head massage, reflexology of the feet, and orography. And my body work is week A, and my orography is week B, and then it repeats A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B. So you go on the website and you'll see all my availability there.
Okay. Now, Indian head massage. Can you explain what that's about a little bit, please?
Yeah, when somebody comes and they're curious about our services, one of the things I say is, if you're going to work with me, if you would like direction, then come and see me for an orograph. If you would like to heal, come and see me for reflexology. If you would like to relax, come and see me for an Indian head massage. So an Indian head massage, it's the techniques start off very invigorating. There's a lot of vigorous rubbing. There's a little bit of shaking. There's a lot of deep squeezing of the shoulders, the upper arms. And then it turns into full relaxation. So it invigorates, brings a lot of blood to the surface, and then it's a deep, deep relaxation. Somebody fell asleep on the table yesterday, actually.
Now, if somebody, say for example, someone has, they've had an injury
Mm,
in their shoulder,
mm.
sort of collarbone area,
Yes.
you would obviously be able to work around that.
Yes, ma'am. So one of the things yesterday, somebody had told me that they had just had shoulder surgery that just healed up. It was it was a shot, actually, not surgery. And we were able to work around that. Just like Becky, the consultation in the beginning of a session is so important.
Mhm.
So we find that all out there. And then I always begin any one of my sessions, any one of the three, with this is a conversation. So talk to me. If you like greater pressure, if you came, because some people want to be beat up. If you want to be beat up, I could do that. If you want little feather fingers, I could do that. But let's make this is all about your journey and your relaxation.
Okay.
And I'm just the guy at the helm. So tell me what you need and which direction you want to go. So
Right.
consultation is important.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'd like to come and see you for an aurograph.
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 71,
Mhm.
and every so often I think, should I be retiring? So my friends are retired, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, but what would I do if I
Mhm.
retired? And
So I have to interrupt to say that I wish I had said this earlier, but this whole time around you, there's been a little clock in your aura, and it's been going tick, 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 tick. And I just sometimes I'm my own biggest skeptic. Sometimes I just think I'm just a crazy person.
yeah,
And
no,
so the ticking of the clock really connects with what you're talking about. Like, I should retire, I should settle down, I should slow down, but there's so much I want to do still. So this interesting relationship with time.
okay. As long as it's not ticking away, saying I
That's
don't
right.
have much time left.
That's right. No.
No, I've actually been told by several psychics that I'm going to get upwards of 100. So
Perfect.
and when I turned 49, I was told that I was halfway through my life.
Mm.
So I know, and I've told my kids, I've still got a good 30 years to torment you.
I'm not going anywhere.
That's right. And my granddaughter, I told her yesterday, she said, no, Grandma, you're not going to torment me. You have 30 years left to continue spoiling your grandchildren.
Oh.
And to spoil your great grandchildren when they come. So I thought, I like that attitude. And I know there are so many things that I still need to do. I need to accomplish. So I think, yeah, I would like to come and see you because that's where I need some guidance. I know what I want to do. I just don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, crystal balls, because they really do fascinate me. I have a glass one, but I know it's not. But okay, because a proper crystal ball, they're awfully expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got one that was glass, would that still work? Like you could still scry with that?
Yes, absolutely. Here's the thing: is some of the crystal ball I have looks glass, but it's called a glass crystal composite. So I like the fact that it has the crystal composite in it, therefore making it more susceptible to hold energy. I charge it in the full moon, that kind of thing, but it's way, way cheaper. But really, the art of scrying, people used to use water in a bowl, a mirror, blood. So yes. So these are things like blood in a shallow pan. So I realized what my gift of orography comes from being able to scry using the air. So this is one thing I would love to change about the spiritual community is kind of like the working out community and the active community is that people believe that you need to be a certain way before you can achieve that thing. You need the right outfit first. You need the right stuff first. You need the right community first. You need the right. No. You don't. So let's scale it back. Let's scale it back to before we had a crystal ball that you could order off Amazon. What would you have used? If all there was still water in a pond or still water in your glass or a mirror, then that's what you would have used. So it doesn't need to be fancy schmancy. You can absolutely use a pure glass ball for sure. Easy peasy.
All right. Because when you do the classes, would they be daytime or would they be evening?
Evenings. So the crystal ball workshop is 2 sessions of 2 hours. Wednesday nights. We haven't locked down the timing just yet. Carrie's probably in the background being like, oh, wait, I probably know the timing. So Carrie, if you're listening, intervene. But we're just putting something on the calendar now. So keep your eye out on our social media and on the website. It'll be Wednesday evenings, 2 weeks in a row. So week A and then week B.
So what are other things that you're going to teach other things too? I know that.
Yes. So the other upcoming workshops that we have is an introduction to tarot reading, which is super, super fun. I think that one is three sessions of 2 hours, but it escapes me right now. The other thing is commonplace journaling. Commonplace journaling is an accessible way of journaling that takes the pressure off people having to journal every day. So many people want to be able to journal, and they want that gunk, that overcrowded mind to be a little bit more clear. They want to be able to write stuff down. And so they sit there and they have to have the right pens. They have to have the right journal. They have to have their tea ready. They need Zen music playing. They need their sage already going. And then they sit down and go, "Dear diary." And then they lose their motivation because it's too sterile. So commonplace journaling is something that I'll be teaching, which is a way of journaling that operates a lot more condusively to how our mind operates.
That's good, because I know if I had to, because I do journal a little bit, but if I had to do it every single day, wouldn't work, because then I would get really stressed about it. Oh, well, I have to do this and again, and I have to do that and all these things, and that clock that's ticking, that would be part of what it's ticking about. And I have 2 different books for journaling. I've just started on a wellness journey. So I've got the one that I'm doing strictly that with all the stuff I've had to do and sort of journaling and putting down my progress on it. But then there's another one that I've done, and it's based on, I don't know, I guess you can say it's a dream that I have, something that I want to create that's called Shire. And Shire exists in the magical myths of the Scottish Highlands. Okay, I've created this whole dimension and little creatures that live there and the whole thing. And so I put my thoughts about Shire in this other one. And I have taken some courses in neurographing. But the last couple of days, every time I want to go talk about neurographing, the word that's sticking in my head is lexigram. But I don't know what I'm supposed to lexigram, right? So I've tried lexigramming my name, and I've come up with a few answers on that. For anyone who doesn't know what lexigramming is, it's where you take a word or a name, and using only those letters, you create other words out of it. For example, one that I remember, Adolf Hitler, dead led to head. Like that sentence is in his, which he took a bullet in the head, right? That's how he died. And there's all different things where you can do this. And I've done quite a bit of it in the past. But this is something that keeps coming up whenever I'm trying to do stuff on Shire, and I'm trying to do this neurographic art. And they're telling me, nope, lexigram. So I don't know.
What's neurographic art?
Neurographica, it's working with the neurons, and I don't know that I can explain this well enough, but it's working with the neurons in your brain, and it's reprogramming them. So you can get rid of old limiting beliefs. You can improve things, and it works. It works. And you draw these lines, and they crisscross in places. And anything that crisscrosses, you have to round your corners. I taught my 9-year-old grandson how to do it. I was there for a week babysitting while mom and dad went down to Mexico. And he picked it up, no problem. And he'd do his, and then he'd look at me, Grandma, you've got to round that corner off. You left that one out, you little bugger. Little smarty. And yeah, and then you color it in, and there's different shapes. And of course, shapes have energy and they have meanings, and the colors all carry their own energy and meanings and that. And I find it very relaxing. And I've been, as I've been doing it, working towards Hawshire, a lot of things are starting to fall into place for it.
Yeah, there's so much, we hold so many of the answers already within us.
Yeah.
And our brains are just too busy and loud to be able to tap in. So one of the things that I've got coming up in my other life as a meditation coach is we've set up a goal of getting 10,000 youth meditating on World Meditation Day, May 21st. Wow. And so far we have over 2,000 students already participating all over the globe. So far, it has been a very exciting experience, and we have 2 weeks to get all these kids to join us. And the important part, based on like to connect with what you're saying, is our heads are so busy, and so if we can teach youth to clear their head and find those answers for themselves within themselves, it's one of my biggest passions right now, because there's so much to be done and learned within our own mind if we're quiet enough to hear it. So journaling, meditating, those types of things bring so much clarity.
So this for Meditation Day on the 21st, let's promote it right now.
Yes, let's.
So if any students out there want to get involved with this, what do they do?
Go to www.dreamwalkersmeditations.com. And there's a big button as soon as you get there that says, do you want to participate in World Meditation Day? And World Meditation Day is coming up on Tuesday, May 21st. Right now, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I just think it's so apropos that within Mental Health Awareness Month is World Meditation Day. There's so much going on around the globe to celebrate that day, where a lot of adults are plan on meditating to join consciousness and to send a wish out to the universe for better well-being for us all. But what if we can get the kids there as well?
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's so far we did a little video about it, and they got over 10,000. Well, it's at 11,000. Well, this morning it was 111. 11,100 views this morning, angel number, where if each one of those people had to forward it to one teacher friend, then that would be 250,000 students participating, based off if class sizes were 25 kids each, which
now,
typically
are you putting an age thing on?
No, I mean, we have a lot of parents that have signed up for themselves to do with their children. We have a ton of adult stuff on our YouTube site, but this is something that is a part of the reason why I found Glimmer, is because all this type of healing work and wellness work is one of my passions. And so it's not a wonder that I found myself at Glimmer when one of my passions is to be a healer.
Absolutely. With the meditation with the kids, for anyone that thinks that small children can't do this, you're wrong.
Amen.
Absolutely. Now, as everyone out there now knows, I do laughter yoga. And as part of some of the classes, I will do a meditation, depending on the group. And I did one, I was doing it again through COVID, right? Had to do it all on Zoom. And my daughter was on there with her grandson, Richard, the one that I've got doing the neurographic art. And he would have been maybe 6 or 7 at the time. I think he was 6. Well, he just loves laughter yoga, right? So we did a meditation. And the one that we did, it was a bowl of loving kindness. and they hold a crystal ball, and we go, it's a guided meditation. And at the end of it, when we were done, he came and he said, Grandma, my bowl got really cold. So absolutely, they feel the energy.
Mhm.
And if he got into that state, yeah, and it calmed him right down for going to bed too.
Mm-hmm. That's
You
right.
know?
That's right. And I would argue that it's it's a child's natural state to be mindful. They're not thinking about bills tomorrow. They're not thinking about the fight on the school ground yesterday.
No.
It's a lot harder for them to be in a positive mindful state nowadays because of tech and screens.
Yeah.
But their typical default is that they are in the present moment. So when people say kids can't meditate, I have plenty of stories I could share of why they could. But my first one is always, it's actually their natural state. We just need to remind them what that feels like.
Yeah. And, Richard, he's a very active child. It really is. Very precocious, very, very active. So if anyone says, oh, my child is too active to meditate, absolutely not.
My son meditates and he's 9. He's been doing it for a couple of years now. So, yeah.
Becky, got your name right this time. You surprised me because saying how long you've been doing things, like 14 years, you've got a 9-year-old son.
I have an 18-year-old son as well.
But you don't look old enough.
I'm 38.
You still don't look 38. No, honestly, I thought you were in your 20s.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
and that's why everybody needs to go and have some facial reflexology with somebody with a face and skin like that.
That's right.
Fountain of youth over here. Good Lord.
Yeah. So it keeps you young looking, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, not only is it, like good for you health wise, but I mean, it helps with fine lines. It helps with puffiness. It helps with all of that. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you want to go see Becky and get reflexology done on your face. And, especially us senior women, tighten up that skin so we don't get lots of wrinkles. And it is wonderfully relaxing too.
It is very relaxing.
I would add to that as well, men.
Yeah.
If you're listening,
Yes.
go for some self-care.
This isn't just for women. This is for men too.
Yes, absolutely. Not enough men look after themselves like that. They don't go for self-care, because if you were to say to a man, oh, you should go get a facial done, that's women's stuff.
Exactly.
But mind you put it to them, go get some reflexology done on your face, and then it's, oh, well, that's just woo-woo stuff. But oh no, men out there, honestly, you need to look after yourselves just as much as women do. You really do. And especially with all the stresses today, get reflexology done on your face, and then go see Tyler, get it done on your feet. Take some meditation classes. No, men need it just as much. And I think there's so much stress that is put on, and expectations that are put on men. I mean, on women as well, but on men. And, everything is about, that comes up is, well, women need to do this and women need to do that. And people forget about men. They need it as well.
Absolutely.
They do. They need to be pampered. They need to be babied. And they can sit there and say, oh, no, all macho, right? No, not me. But, oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Now, if I would like to just one more time to go over contact information. If anyone wants to come and see either one of you, if you can, and to give the address of the store.
Becky, do you want to take that away?
Yeah, so the address is 677 6th Street East in Owen Sound. I do not know the phone number off by heart, but our website is www.glimmerowensound.ca.
Okay. Oh, we still have 8 minutes left, so we've got longer than I thought. All right. All right. And again, Becky, you offer the facial reflexology
Yes, with massage. So like
with massage.
it's more than just reflexology. I use a Kanza wand. Sometimes I use guashas.
You
I
use
have
which?
guashas.
Now, what's that?
So they are made out of crystals. You can get a jade stone, rose quartz. I have a black obsidian one, and you just glide it over the face. It helps to shape and sculpt your face. So yeah, you just move them along just to kind of to get the fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is it a wand or is it like a roller?
You can get a
jade
roller. You can get the rollers, but it's just a flat surface, and they're only like this big. And
It looks
it's
like the wing
flat.
of a bird almost, like a
Yeah,
cartoon wing of
yeah.
a bird.
Yeah.
We sell them here at the store, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can use them just to sculpt the face. So I'll sometimes use that in my sessions. I also have what are called ice globes. I put them in the freezer, and they're really nice in the summertime when it's hot. I'll use those on your face. So I just have these different tools that I use, and like I said, a really lovely massage. I work on your chest, open it up, your shoulders, your neck, and I do a scalp massage as well.
Mhm.
Now, when I was talking to you on Saturday, because I was back at the treatment room talking to you, and you had a necklace on, and you were saying that because you sell jewelry at Glimmer as well,
Yeah.
and the wire work, right?
Yes, so that is Stone and Cage. Carrie was able to bring in some of her pieces. And yes, she does the wire wrapping around the crystals.
Yeah, because she really does beautiful work.
She does. Yeah, she really does. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Tyler, let's go over again the things that you offer for people.
I'm going to be running a ton of workshops. Can't wait to see you there. Upcoming is Introduction to Tarot, 2 crystal ball reading workshops at different times, and commonplace journaling. There's probably going to be a meditation for beginners and intermediates as well, possibly a meditation course for kids. TBD though, to be determined. The three things that I'm doing regularly on my Mondays are orography, where I draw your aura, and tarot card reading. That's within the same appointment. That's an hour long. Then the Indian head massage and the reflexology are also both an hour long.
Okay. And yeah, I think all the sessions, well, there are some sessions I saw, I don't know who does them, that are an hour and a half long, but I think most of them are an hour.
Yeah, most of us are an hour. I run between 60 and 75 minutes, depending. But yeah, I think most of us are about an hour.
Yeah. No, that's good. Now there are because we still got a little bit of time so let's promote Glimmer. And there's also there's Amy.
Yeah, Amy. So she does the crystal chakra energy healing. She's also going to be bringing in crystal massage, like a full body crystal massage.
Ooh.
So we're really hoping she'll be able to start doing that soon, because that sounds really lovely. And then we also have Alex. He's also a tarot reader as well. And we have Ryan, who was just on.
Yeah.
And Laura, who does inner child healing.
Now that would be interesting too. Well, I'm going to talk to Laura and Amy.
Yes.
Get in touch with them and have them on the show as well. Now, doesn't Amy do something with the Akashic Records?
Yes, so she does Akashic Records as well. She doesn't have it on her service list right now, but it's something that she's going to be bringing in shortly.
Okay, because I don't think I've had anyone on the show where we've really talked about Akashic Records.
Yeah.
And I don't think everyone really even knows what they are.
No, I think even I sort of know what it is, but I cannot explain it to another person.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Because, yeah.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It's pretty interesting though.
Yeah. No, I think the way I had it explained to me, it's like a big library
Yes.
up in the clouds, and it's got all your information and everything like that.
Yes.
There's just so many things.
So many things.
There really are. And one of the things I find, you talk to different people and they're, oh yeah, I know all about this and I know all about that. And I'm thinking, nope, no, you don't. Because you know what? When you think you know it all, you're going to find out you know very little.
Yeah.
It's such a wide field, a wide spread, and there's so much. There's so much to learn. And I think that it's a field that if anyone wants to get into it, and I have people come to me and they want to know, well, what should I be doing? So Tyler, if someone said to you, what should I be doing?
The first thing I would say is that intuitive gifts are not necessarily a spectrum. I would call them a ray. So the difference between a spectrum is that there's point A and there's point B, and then you're somewhere here, and you can be this intuitive, or you can be, unfortunately, this intuitive, right? I would call it a ray, where there's one starting point and you just continue propelling forward. Because in the way that I have no seers in my family whatsoever. And my family is very grounded. My didn't even go to church. Like there's no religion, there's no spirituality. And I started with tarot, and then it turned into one single symbol in people's auras. It turned into a lot of clairsentience at first. And then it just, it's a muscle. As you continue to grow and build, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And so now there's been amazing, I would never call myself a medium, but there has been the most freaky deaky stuff that has happened with me, and suddenly seeing somebody standing beside somebody. And it's had some literally life-changing results for some, especially in dealing with grief. And that's not something that I taught myself. That's not something I knew how to do. But the more I it just came. The more I flexed and worked out in my metaphysical gym by just being open to it, the stronger you get.
Yeah. Well, we are at the end of the show, and it has been wonderful having you both on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I told Carrie, I'll be back. There's crystals I want to get. Plus, Tyler, I do want to come and see you because I need guidance. And, when you are psychic and you say you want to go get a reading, people think, well, yeah, you should know this stuff. And you do to a point, but not everything. And it's good to get clarity. So thank you so much for being on the show. It's been absolutely wonderful having you on. I'm sure everyone enjoyed it. And do remember, keep laughter in your heart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
It's been a long time coming.
You don't win it to keep it, you win it to be a part of its history.
Always knew.
Always hard to see the difference between winning and losing.
The quest for the hardest trophy to win in sports